How you guys doing? Welcome to 2 Cents in 2 Minutes with Jay Richardson. This is our first 2 Cents in 2 Minutes. This is a quick show, kind of where I give you my 2 cents on everything happening in the sports world in around 2 minutes. I'll do the best I can, but there's a lot to talk about, and I want to get right into it. Been 2 months since the NFL draft, and I only came away feeling one specific kind of way. New York Giants, really? You're going to pass on Dwayne Haskins. You're going to pass on the passing leader of college football and, probably the most talented player to come out since, I don't know, maybe Andrew Luck, maybe even more talented. Some have argued. This guy absolutely lit it up for one of the premier programs in the country, and you passed on him at number 6 to take Daniel Jones. We're not even sure who Daniel Jones is. And I'm not against Daniel Jones. I hope that kid does very well. And Dave Gettleman, you're going to need him to. As the GM of the New York Giants, you're going to need him to do well. Otherwise, that's going to be your job. Meanwhile, Dwayne Haskins, I think, landed nice and safe right there in the nation's capital, D.C., with Case Keenum as someone to kind of watch. Case Keenum's a journeyman, been all over the league, has had great years and has had terrible years. One thing about Case Keenum, he can play the game, but we all know on a long enough timeline, he's not the answer, which is why they have drafted Dwayne Haskins so early in the first round. This is perfect for him. Not to mention, he got a sidekick, Terry McLaurin, one of his receivers who absolutely tore up the Senior Bowl. By the way, that guy was unguardable one-on-one. Cannot wait to see what he does in that camp, in minicamp this week, and also what he does this season. He will make the football team, Terry McLaurin. And Dwayne Haskins, I predict by week 8, will be the outright starter, probably before, because we all know if Case Keenum doesn't get it done on the field, he will most certainly be in the training room before it's all said and done. Moving along, city of Cleveland. Listen, my whole family's from East Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Cleveland has a big place in my heart. However, the Cleveland Browns do not. I'm sorry, Cleveland. You don't get to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in April or May. I get it. Huge offseason, made a lot of big splashes, a lot of additions, a lot of signings. Obviously, most notable, OBJ himself, the drama king like K-Slay. You got OBJ out there making all those fantastic catches in shorts and helmets, which is where his best catches usually occur, save that one big one that made him famous. I want to see what he's going to do in the playoffs. But first, Cleveland, you know what you got to do? Got to actually get to the playoffs. So before we start celebrating their offseason and start crowning them kings of the offseason, which kind of is worth nothing, let's find out what happens in the actual season. I hope Baker Mayfield continues to progress. I want to see him do very well. And he does have 2 guys who have great chemistry, Jarvis Landry and OBJ. These 2 dudes are best friends, almost got the same haircut. They are one dye job away from being the exact same guy. And I cannot wait to see those guys perform. This is true. But I don't crown anyone in the summertime because nothing can be won in the summer. And speaking of nothing being won in the summer, OTAs are not mandatory. Let me say it again. Not mandatory. I do not want to hear any more about what player was not there, what guy skipped an OTA or a workout. Listen, as a former player, these are days where you show up, you know what you do? You throw on some shorts, you go for a nice light jog, you get a nice light lift in, and then you walk through some plays. Sometimes you sprint through some plays. These are mostly for young guys to acclimate it to the league, to get a feel for the speed, and that's important. I just don't care if Odell Beckham is not there. I don't care if any other superstar is not there because nothing's happening. And every guy has a different routine in the offseason. Some guys like to go, maybe go down to Miami, do a little beach workout, get a lift in. They have a routine. They have a doctor they see. They might even sleep in a hyperbaric chamber. I know I used to. Helps the body recover. Everyone has their own routine. Athletes are very superstitious. Do not mess with their routine because they feel like that's what got them there. So why would they stop now because you want to see them at a t-shirt and shorts non-mandatory workout? I don't want to hear it. Now, what is mandatory? Minicamp. NFL minicamps are very mandatory for a reason. At some point in the spring, you got to know who's on your football team. So you're going to have a 3-day weekend, maybe 4 sometimes, where everyone who's going to be on your football team in the fall is there all at one time. That makes sense. You got to get timing. You got to get personnel. You got to find out what jersey number you want to wear. You got to find out what color scheme you like. Some guys are different. Some guys go there because they want to lock down a specific jersey number, and they also want to make an impression on the coaches. Not to mention, the draft's over. You got to find out what you really have. It's not OTAs. All those top-tier guys are going to be in the building now. All of your superstars, quote unquote, will be there, and now all those rookies have a chance to test their mettle against the real deal NFL players. Sure, still t-shirts and helmets, no one's gonna get hit, although it does get a little physical, let me tell you. I don't know, the rules might be different now. Back in the day, minicamp got physical. Now it's a cupcake league. Point is, it's important, gotta be there, it's just 3 days, coaches gotta know who their personnel is, and you gotta be able to get organized. That makes perfect sense. Now let's get to why we're really here. And my favorite time of the year, almost, NBA Finals. For those of you who really know me, know I love basketball, maybe even more than I love football. And yeah, I know. That's not good to say. It's almost blasphemous in the state of Ohio. Not to mention I'm a former NFL and Ohio State athlete. I get it, but I just love hoops, man. Ball is life. I'm supposed to be in the NBA right now. I don't know how I didn't get drafted. I don't know how they missed on me, but here I am in this nice, comfy chair talking to you guys. So let's talk about the NBA Finals. It all boils down to two teams we kind of predicted would be the two best teams. Golden State Warriors, who everyone pretty much gave them the trophy last summer. Really, they gave the trophy 2 years ago when they signed KD, and they should. It's a super duper team, not just a super team, because super teams only have about 1 to 2 All-Stars. They've got 4, 1 former All-Star, and 2 MVPs in their active primes. Never been done. Versus the Toronto Raptors, best defense in the league, and a team that is led by the cyborg Terminator 3.0 himself, Kawhi Leonard, one of the most amazing superstars in this NBA league, maybe league history, not because of who he is on the court, because of course we all know who he is on the court. The guy's the best two-way player in the league. He's developed a consistent jump shot, lateral quickness, everything you want, but he's also not a drama king off the field. You get all the perks of a superstar on the court, and you get none of the negatives of a superstar off the court. That's what you want, a superstar. That's Kawhi Leonard. Love it or hate it, I absolutely love it. This is a 2-1 series, but the Warriors are down. Why? Injuries. First, Looney goes down. Underrated loss. This come out a guy who's, 6'11" and up, can switch on the screens, on the perimeter, has great lateral quickness. When you lose that, you lose a lot of your defense, and he's always there for a lob. Not to mention you lost KD. He's been out now since the middle of April. This is a serious injury, right? You got the calf strain. Not sure what's going to happen. Is he going to come back? Is he not? Is he going to be happy when he comes back? Is he not? If he comes back and you guys win, does he stay? If he doesn't come back and you guys win, does he definitely go? If you guys lose, meaning the Warriors, and KD is not there for it, will that validate his position of, yeah, they needed me all along? I don't think so. They never did need him. I think they won game 1 without him. They can win this series as long as Klay Thompson can come back as 80% of his former self with that hamstring, which, side note, he tore that hamstring trying to draw a foul on a three-pointer. Klay, just shoot the shot, my man. That's all you got to do. Shoot your normal shot. That would never happen. That speaks to a whole nother problem in this league with referees and guys playing for fouls. James Harden. Anyway, how this is going to end up, I predict the Raptors, dun-dun-dun-dun, will win the NBA Finals. I don't know that Kevin Durant comes back for maybe even another full week. Klay will come back. I don't think Klay's going to be his same self on the defensive end, which is huge, because now you got Kawhi who's going to have a field day with everyone else in that reserve lineup trying to guard him one-on-one, even though Kawhi himself, which no one seems to want to mention, is still hurt. And not just hurt like how everyone's hurt this time of the year. No. He's pretty much injured. I mean, the guy can't get off the ground. He was dunking all over Giannis in the Eastern Conference Finals, and now he's out there just using his body to get layups and playing through contact, playing through pain, playing through everything, because that's what Terminators do, and he's still managing on a quiet night to go 38-8 and lead his team to a victory. That's beyond impressive. That's legendary. And if he somehow is able to win the O'Brien Trophy and hoist the MVP, he might have to start being mentioned as one of the best players in basketball history, and that's just the truth. Speaking of legendary, I want to speak to you guys about another up-and-coming legend right now. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, to me, is becoming one of my favorite men in power in sports. Why? He's well-balanced. He's reasonable. He's rational. He's fast to act, and he always handles things the right way. I haven't had a single thing to argue with what he's done with his league. He's actually been brilliant. Everything from the Donald Sterling issue from a handful of years back, we all remember, to how he's handled the dress code, to how he's handled LeBron playing on the West Coast and the time slots, and now to how he handled and effectively neutralized tanking with the new NBA lottery pick format. I mean, it's all been brilliant. His latest challenge, I guess we can call it, is this little issue that happened during Game 3 of the NBA Finals. In Oracle Arena, majority owner Mark Stevens decided to do something, I'll just blatantly say, it's just very, very dumb during an NBA game. We've all watched games. We've all seen guys go flying into the stands. I mean, Shaq was notorious for jumping over 3 or 4 rows and falling into people, and everyone gets a good laugh out of it. Home or away, it's all part of the game. If you sit courtside, you can expect that at some point in the game, you're going to have a physical interaction with the player. And almost every time, fans handle it the right way. except for the billionaire owner who decided when Kyle Lowry dove, doing his job at work, when Kyle Lowry dove over the first row trying to save a loose ball and fell over a few of the fans who all had a smile on their face, who all understand what they're in for when they sit courtside. This guy, Mark Stevens, decides to reach across someone because he wasn't the one that got landed on. He just wanted a chance to put a hand on Kyle Lowry, not a helping hand. He pushed him. And not only did he push him, he said some vulgar and very unsavory things to Kyle Lowry that I think, Kyle Lowry was a little bit instigated by that. However, to Kyle Lowry's credit, he handled it brilliantly. Didn't put his hands back on him, didn't yell and scream, calmly called the ref over, got the situation organized, and now you're seeing the fallout from what he did. What people need to realize is the reason Adam Silver is a legend to me is because he handled this thing perfectly. $500,000 suspension because, let's be honest, you got to hold owners to a higher standard. You guys should know the NBA rules and represent the league as much as the players do, maybe more so, and a full year ban, which some might say is heavy-handed. I say it's perfect. You should know you can't, I don't care how much you had to drink, you can't put your hands on the players. You should not be cursing and yelling obscenities at them. And for God's sakes, represent the league well. That's what they're always telling NFL players, NBA players, represent the league and your family well. Well, he didn't do this, and that's why he will be watching the rest of the NBA Finals the same place you and I will, from the couch. That's been 2 Cents with Jay Richardson. I'll see you guys next time.